பழனிசாமி
அவர் கபடக்காரர் மு.க. ஸ்டாலின் அங்கலாகவே இருந்தாலும்
Voters of Tamil Nadu, the countdown has begun. On April 23rd, we head to the polls for the 2026 Assembly elections. But this isn't just another election. Since independence, we've seen two-way battles and three-way contests. But for the first time, we are staring at a massive four-cornered fight. On one side, the DMK, led by CM M.K. Stalin, is aiming to repeat their 2021 success aligned with Congress, Communist Party, VCK, MDMK, Muslim League, DMDK. As opposition, the AIADMK, desperate to regain power, aligned with the BJP, PMK, AMMK, TMC, IJK, and TMMK. But the disruptors are here. Siemens NTK is standing alone for the third time, and the biggest X factor, actor Vijay's TVK, is entering the arena, backed by the energy of Gen Z. To understand where we are going, we must look back. To vote wisely in 2026, we need to rewind to where it all began. Welcome to Election Rewind. Let's go back 78 years. 1947. India was a newborn nation in the Madras province, which then included parts of present-day Andhra, Kerala, and Karnataka. The Congress Party was the titan. Congress was the party that won us freedom. If you wore a khadi cap and stood for Congress, your victory was almost guaranteed. The Communist Party of India, which had also sacrificed immensely for freedom, became the target of the very government they helped create. Between 1948 and 1950, communist leaders were hunted across the South. It wasn't just political, it was violent. In 1949, at Cuddalore Jail, police opened fire on leaders like A.K. Gopalan. But the darkest day came on February 11, 1950. 22 communists were shot dead inside Salem jail. It was a tragedy so brutal it was compared to the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. The people's honeymoon period with Congress was ending, replaced by the bitter reality of a rice famine. Due to ideological differences with Periyar, C.N. Annadurai founded the DMK on September 17, 1949. Anna kept the post of party president vacant out of respect for Periyar and took on the role of general secretary. The state was starving. The government's solution, limiting families to just 6 ounces of rice, which is less than a quarter kilogram. Anna seized this moment. At the DMK's first state conference in 1951, he didn't just give a speech, he declared war. Even Periyar, who had his differences with the DMK, saw the opportunity. He famously said, "My only weapon to destroy the Congress is the Communist Party." The stage was set for the first ever general election of independent India. Everyone expected the DMK to jump into the fray, but then Anna dropped a bombshell. The DMK would not contest. Anna wrote, "We must not get involved in a fox hunt and forget the tiger hunt." To Anna, the Indian constitution, prepared by Congress, didn't represent the Dravidian people. He viewed the first election as a fox crossing the path. If they focus too much on winning seats, which is the fox, they might lose sight of their ultimate goal of social justice and state rights, which is the tiger. But what exactly did he mean? Was it a strategic retreat or a long-term trap for the Congress? From the rice famine of the 1950s to the digital campaigns of 2026, the spirit of Tamil Nadu's politics remains the same, a fierce battle for identity and welfare. As we stand on the threshold of a four-cornered battle involving the DMK, AIADMK, NTK, TVK, we have to ask, who is chasing the tiger today and who is merely hunting the fox? In our next episode, we dive into the results of that first historic election. Did Anna tiger hunt strategy work? And how did a party that didn't even contest end up changing the fate of the state? Subscribe for part 2.